Arnabda, shall we start?
Yes, yes, please start, please start.
Okay, good evening all. On behalf of PG Department of Zoology, I am Dr. Shongita Lahiri, invite you all on 8th day of our certificate course entitled Fundamentals of Cell Culture and Cell Culture Techniques. As we are already late, so without wasting time, let's introduce today's speaker. Today's speaker is Ms. Jarkha Jamal. She is received her MSc from University of Calcutta, and she has already submitted her thesis entitled Effect of Arsenic on Immune Status of Swiss Albino Mice. She has already published her scientific contribution in different reputed journals like PLOS ONE, Toxicity Reports, Molecular Cancer Therapeutics. So, Ms. Jamal, you are cordially welcome to present your talk. Please unmute yourself and proceed with your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful introduction. Good evening, students.
Good evening, ma'am.
How are you all?
Good, ma'am.
Good. So, you have been doing classes on cell culture, and it has been quite some time. You must have gained some information, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, can anyone just brief me up? Just anything, whatever you remember from the previous classes. Ashok, Bashweta, Shanchari, anybody? We can start with the definition of cell culture.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can I
Anyone?
brief? Ma'am, can
Yes,
I brief?
Sambhavi?
Ma'am, in yesterday's class, we basically proceeded to and get information about like different kinds of cell line and about how the downstreaming process is been done and different methodologies regarding the cell culture and also about and in previous classes there were different levels of um, that
Biosafety
um,
level.
Yes.
biosafety levels. Yes,
Okay,
exactly,
all right.
biosafety levels.
And
Ma'am,
yes,
and different types of cell culture like primary cell culture, secondary cell cultures.
yes, very good. So today's topic is guidelines for maintenance of cell
Student,
culture.
please, 1 minute. Student, you have also learned about contamination, different type of contaminations, biohazard. Please respond.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Different types of contamination, biohazards, and precautions regarding the handling of how to handle a cell culture and how to maintain the hygiene and other things. So
Yes.
there was a step-by-step regulation of all those
ठीक है. So that
methods.
means you have gained good amount of knowledge regarding cell culture. So what I'll teach you today is the guidelines for the maintenance of cell culture. Okay, brief guidelines and regarding some details regarding the topic. For that, we also need some amount of introduction again, which might some part might be repetitive, but still without an introduction, I cannot proceed, right? So let us begin with the class, and I'm sharing my screen. Here, can you see, all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's been
One second.
shared.
Just let me turn off my camera. Here. Can everyone see?
It's loading. It's loading.
Yeah, it's opening.
Yeah, now we can see your screen. Student, please respond.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am,
ma'am.
it's
It's
visible.
visible.
Ms. Zarka Jamal, please unmute yourself. Zarka, you are in muted mode. Please unmute yourself. Zarka, can you hear me? Zarka? Zarka, you are in mute mode. Please unmute yourself.
Microphone is already on.
Now we can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Now again you are, yeah. Now we can hear you. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear?
Now
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
audible. You are audible.
Okay.
Okay.
So cell culture refers to what? Cell culture is the culture of some specific type of cells in the lab. All right, under certain laboratory conditions. Those cells can be achieved from an animal, from different tissues of an animal, or from a plant, or it can be bought from some companies. It can be some established cell line, it can be some particular strain, or you can yourself design this the cell strain on which you want to work according to your needs. All right. So by the term cell culture, what idea have you gained? What idea have you gained? Any one of you? Cell culture. Can you imagine anything? You know the mechanism of bacterial culture, right? Some of you might be knowing about this. Bacterial culture. We have this hood for culturing bacteria in our college. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? The hood for bacterial culture, which is there in the lab.
Response, student, please response.
No, ma'am.
Yes. No, you haven't seen. All right. So
Ma'am.
the hood for the maintenance of culture of bacteria and for the culture of cells are more or less similar, but the cell culture hood, which is the basic amenity required for culturing cells, it is a little bit more sophisticated than that of bacterial culture. All right. Now, by this cell culture basically is of two kinds. All right. The cells which needs to be cultured can be of two categories. It might be a primary culture. What is a primary culture? What is a primary culture? Primary culture are the culture of those cells which are directly obtained from your experimental model. Suppose you are working with Swiss albino mice, you are working with rat, or you're performing some experiment on this guinea pig. I don't know if it is still continuing, or any other model, some insect, Drosophila, whatever. You are obtaining some cells from there and you are culturing it in suspension or in this adherent media, whatever it is. If you are obtaining some cells from your experimental model and you are establishing that yourself, okay, that is a primary culture. All right, got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So primary culture refers to the stage of culture after the cells are isolated from tissue and proliferated under appropriate conditions. All right, now there are some basic norms for proceeding with cell culture. Okay, we'll come into it. We'll talk about this later. The second type is this. There are two basic types of this. It is cell line and cell strain. Cell line. Have you heard this term before?
Yes, ma'am, we have.
You have, right? Give me some examples. Give me some very common examples.
Ma'am, stem cells collection. We can
Name. I'm asking for the name of some cell line. Like very common. Commonest of all is which is starting with H. Starting with H.
HEL, HeLa.
Yes. Very good. HeLa cell line. The most common type of cell line. It is a type which research scholars, some of the those scholars who are working with cancer, they make use of this cell line. Okay. And then sometimes what happens, these they buy these cell lines from certain companies, and then they further transform this type of cells. They further transform it. They further introduce it in some they do cloning with it, and they transform the cells, and then it is called a cell strain. Okay, and this strain will be more specific to your needs. Okay, all right, you can differentiate between cell line and cell strain, right? Look here, a cell strain often acquires additional genetic changes subsequent to the initiation of parent line. All right.
Yes, ma'am. It's a kind of hybrid. We can tell about
Yeah.
the parent and the new strand.
Yeah, you can call it a hybrid, because it has attained a lot more changes, a lot more genetic changes. Okay. So next is further, the cell lines can be divided as finite and continuous. Finite, if you can remember, we had studied at some point of time this what do you call it, contact inhibition, and then the 3 phases of cell division and cell growth. We have talked about this in our classes, in our BSc classes. Do you remember? Yeah.
Ma'am,
If I
in first sem, there was
Yes.
like I can relate this to the ecology because there were the population where
Yes,
the
yes,
growth
yes. The
was in
similar kind of graph,
lag phase
similar
only.
kind of graph we have in here also. For cell growth also, we have a similar kind of graph. I can show you the graph. It is here in some slide. It is here. I'll just show you. It's here. This one. Yeah. So if you follow this graph, there is an initial phase. This is the lag phase. Okay. Followed by a steep rise. Steep rise. This is the log phase, and in this phase the cells divide rapidly. All right, and then it is followed by a stationary phase. Stationary phase. Right here, the cell stops division and it only grows. Right. Yes, and this thing was first observed by which scientist? By Sir Hayflick. That is why when after 50 to 60 divisions, a cell will stop to divide. A cell will stop to divide and it will only grow. Okay, and that is called the Hayflick's limit. Okay, so those cells which follow this Hayflick's limit and which can divide only up to certain generations, those are called finite. That is finite. Those are finite cells. All right, having a finite lifespan. But some cells or some hybrid cells, they are hybridized with some immortal cancerous cells. Okay, for the purpose of continuous access to or continuous production of some chemicals of medical importance. Okay, some hormones. If it is industry is producing different sorts of proteins and all. Okay, biotechnology labs, they make use of this cell culture for the production of many kinds of things, like vaccines, different proteins. Okay, different types of this other your gene therapy. Okay, gene therapy. Then again, the cell lines, different kinds of cell lines are used by different researchers as a model. Okay, one cell, they make use of different kinds of cell lines for their research purposes, and then later they will carry out these same kinds of experiments with higher mammals, and then with the rats, and then further with chimpanzees and all, whatever. So the cell culture is also important because research works are carried out making use of the cells as models. All right. So finite and continuous cell line, you can understand, right? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Finite and continuous cell line. So HeLa, if we talk about HeLa, what is it? Is it a finite type of, what is it? Finite or continuous cell line? What is it? Hela?
Ma'am, it's finite because it is not transforming. It is the same thing. It doesn't change
Is
its
it mortal or
identity or
is it
property.
immortal?
It was mortal, I guess.
Hela is mortal.
One second.
Hela, is it mortal? Cancerous cells are mortal.
No. The cancerous cells aren't mortal.
Cancerous cells, are they mortal?
No, they aren't. They aren't.
Immortal, right?
They're
That is
immortal.
only cancer. What is cancer? When the cell does not recognize when to stop dividing, then they become cancerous, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this Hela cell line was obtained from which woman? Henrietta Lacks, suffering from cervical cancer, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that would be an example of continuous cell line. ঠিক আছে? তারপরে we have culture conditions. Conditions bolte there are different physical conditions like the substrate bolchi, the matrix. Okay, the matrix on which it will grow, whether it's a solid matrix, solid substrate, a semi-solid substrate, or a liquid suspension. What is it? So those cells which need a solid matrix to adhere to, those cells are called adherent cells. Examples are, see, you can see these are the fibroblast like cells. These are examples of adherent cells. Why? Because they need a solid matrix on which they can grow. Okay, but the other kinds of cells like blood cell lines and lymphoblast like cells, they can grow in suspension culture. They can grow in liquid medium. Okay, all right, so examples are important. Keep in mind the examples of adherent cells as well as suspension cells which can grow in suspension. Adherent cells are also called anchorage dependent cells. ঠিক আছে, বোঝাতে পারলাম adherent and this suspension culture cells?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, only one or two yes ma'am I can hear. What about the others? Only two yes ma'am. One is Sambhavi and one is probably Adrish. What is your name? Which boy is saying yes ma'am?
Ma'am, Ninad Bagait.
Huh?
Ninad Bagait.
Ninad. Okay. What about the others? Please respond, otherwise it will be very boring. Okay. So then we have applications. I was already telling you why some biotechnological labs, they use this, they make use of cell culture. They carry out, they culture cells for the development of vaccines and therapeutic proteins. And also they are excellent model systems. See? Major advantage of using cell culture for any of these applications is the consistency and reproducibility. Consistency and reproducibility. They can produce huge amounts of these products like in large quantities, right? So it is very useful. It is this has got a huge demand. The cell culture is nowadays in huge demand because of these. All right, so I would like you to just for the sake of a brief visual experience of cell culture, introduction to this thing, just go through this, have a look at this short video. What happened? Yes, can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait.
In biology, cell culture is the process by which cells are grown in controlled conditions outside of its native environment. This technique has enabled scientists to use cells, the fundamental unit of life, as an imperative model system for understanding physiological processes in the human body. One of the major contributions of cell culture is the development of polio vaccines. Back in the early 1930s, researchers had to use live animals to grow poliovirus. But with cell culture, researchers were able to have greater control of virus production, which eventually led to the creation of the vaccine. Fast forward to the 1970s, mammalian cell culture was used to create properly folded and glycosylated proteins, such as interferons and antibodies, that were impossible to make in prokaryotic E. coli cells, because E. coli cells lack post-translational modifications. Nowadays, cell culture is being used widely in laboratory settings, particularly in the field of vaccine research, cancer research, and protein therapeutics. Cells that are used in laboratories can be generalized into two categories: primary cells and established cell lines. Primary cells are cells that are directly prepared from an organism's tissues. If grown under the right conditions, primary cells will grow and proliferate, but they're only able to do so a finite number of times. This is because each time as the cells divide, part of its DNA's telomere is lost, and after a certain number of cell divisions, the cells would reach senescence, where the cells can no longer divide. Established cell lines, on the other hand, are able to escape the normal constraints of the cell cycle and grow indefinitely, making them extremely useful for long-term research. Whereas primary cells are obtained directly from donor tissues, cell lines can be derived from clinical tumors or created from transforming primary cells with viral oncogenes or chemical treatments. These reagents or treatments target one of the checkpoints in the 5 phases in the mammalian cell cycle. Checkpoints are there to ensure that the cell meets the appropriate requirements in order to move on to the next stage of making donor cells. One of the checkpoints is at the end of G1, which allows cells to commit to cell division. The second checkpoint is at the S phase and is there to check the quality of the replicated DNA and to determine if any DNA repair mechanisms need to be activated. The third checkpoint is after G2, and its purpose is, again, to ensure that DNA has been replicated completely and is undamaged. Finally, there are several checkpoints within mitosis to ensure that the cell is in a proper position to complete cell division. When a cell starts to divide uncontrollably, it is because they have evaded these checkpoints and the cell cycle is allowed to proceed and cells continue to proliferate. Many viral oncogenes, such as E6 and E7 from the human papillomavirus, can degrade controllers of the cell cycle, namely the tumor suppressor genes, to turn a normal cell cancerous. Primary cells and established cell lines in culture usually adopt one of the two growing forms. They either grow as monolayers or are free-floating in culture media. Cells that form monolayers are also often referred to as adherent cultures, while the free-floating cells are called suspension cultures. Knowing the growth properties of the cells can help scientists choose the appropriate cultureware for their experiments. To keep the cells alive, it is important to keep the conditions as close to the physiological conditions as possible. Therefore, supplements such as amino acids, inorganic salts, and vitamins are added into the culture media. Traditionally, other vital supplements, including macromolecules, lipids, and growth factors, are supplemented in the form of fetal bovine serum, or FBS. However, there are a lot of uncertainties with regards to the use of FBS. For example, as scientists do not know the serum's exact composition, it is always subjected to lot-to-lot variation, and this in turn can affect the cultures. Recently, defined media, where the exact composition of the media is known, are on the rise to address this issue. As physiological fluids have a neutral pH, the culture media also have a buffering system to ensure the proper pH is maintained. One way to achieve this is to use sodium bicarbonate to keep the pH of the media between 7.2 and 7.4 with 5 to 10% gaseous carbon dioxide. Another common buffering system involves the use of Zwitter ions, such as Hepis. In both kinds, it is common to have a pH indicator, such as phenol red, added to the media so that scientists can visually monitor the changes in pH. Different cell lines generally require different types of media, and the most commonly used commercial media today are Delbeco's Modified Eco Medium, or DMEM, Roswell Park Memorial Institute 1640, or RPMI, and Ham's F12 Nutrient Mixture, or F12. Apart from using the appropriate media for growth, the cells are also maintained in the correct temperature. For example, Most mammalian cells are incubated at 37 degrees Celsius for optimal growth, while cells derived from cold-blooded animals should be kept at lower temperatures. Other measures to take when working in cell cultures is to ensure that the cells are kept under a sterile environment. Microbial contaminants such as bacteria, fungi, or mycoplasma can ruin the culture and lead to invalid experimental data. A laminar flow hood is always used for cell culture work. It maintains a steady, clean airflow and prevents outside contaminants from entering the culture. In addition to microbial contaminations, the cells can also be contaminated by other cells. Cell lines can be overgrown and replaced by other fast-growing cells inadvertently introduced into the original culture. The consequence of using a misidentified cell line is making false scientific conclusions. Authenticating cell lines using short tandem repeat profiling, or STR, is recommended for cultures from time to time. ABM provides a wide range of cell culture-related products, ranging from the starting material.
All right, could you follow the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So this was a short video from this company ABM. There are various companies like there is this ABM as this was. There's Life Technologies, then there's Invitrogen, AppCam, okay, then Jipco. So if you so these companies, they sell the products required for the cell culture. They sell the media, they sell petri plates, flasks, adherent, non-adherent, okay. And these companies, they have some free protocols which needs to be followed, okay. There are various videos available, various guidelines available. If you just know the names of these companies, and if you just go through their this thing manuals which they have available online, okay, then you can gain a lot of information from there. All right, some of the companies, I'll repeat. It's this AppCam, Life Technologies, Thermo Fisher, okay, Invitrogen, Jipco. For the purpose of this, if you want to study this different protocols, okay, any protocols pertaining to anything, be it Western blotting, be it translation, what am I saying? This transfer, Western blot, okay, protein estimation, cell culture techniques, different cloning techniques, any technique if you want to learn, if you want this correct good protocol, a practical thing which you, if you need, you just go through the protocols which is available with the manuals of these companies, okay. All right, so they have very good videos and very good these things, protocols. ঠিক আছে?
Yes, ma'am.
So then there are some precautionary practices which needs to be followed before entering a cell culture lab. All right, all of you must have already got acquainted with all these points, but still you need to, it's a repetition, it would be a repetition, as I had already said. Always wear appropriate PPE, personal protective equipment before entering the lab. You should always change gloves, okay. Always change gloves when you are when you are handling the things inside the hood. And if you always spray this 70% ethanol, okay. Ethanol should always be used, and it should be there in small spray bottles inside the hood. And you have to have a discard bottle, and that discard bottle should have this disinfectant, this bleaching powder or something, any disinfectant, it should be there, okay. And then before entering the lab, you should remove your socks, your shoes. If you have long hair, you should have it tied up, okay. Then you should have your head covers. You should have a lab coat. If lab coat you have, that would be very good. No eating materials should be taken inside the labs, cell culture labs. You are not supposed to talk, okay. You're not supposed to talk or breathe inside your the expired air should not go into the hood. Okay, the laminar airflow should always be kept on. All right, before starting your work, the surface, the bottom surface of the hood should be wiped clean with 70% alcohol. All right, all the bottles, all the media bottles which you are taking out of the refrigerator and keeping it inside the hood, right? That transition, there is a transition. You are taking out of the refrigerator, it is getting exposed to there, and then you will keep it inside the hood, right? But before keeping it inside the hood, you should wipe it again with 70% alcohol. Okay, and after doing all this, there should be a small spirit lamp burning inside, so that if there is any chance of the because of this temperature, any any bacterial contamination or any other sort of contamination, you should just keep it burning over there. Okay, and other policies, institutional policies and all those should be followed. Then you are not supposed to sneeze. You are not supposed to sneeze. Your decontamination, I've already told you. Then there's a decontamination cycle which is there automated along with this laminar hood. Okay, so time to time you are supposed to decontaminate it. Time to time you are supposed to fumigate the cell culture room. Fumigation. Okay, there will be a class for this fumigation. You have a topic allotted for this fumigation. Okay, but just for your knowledge, I'm just telling you that fumigation is nothing. It's just this formalin or KMNO4. You have to prepare fumes out of it, and you have to keep the hood closed, and inside it you have to just spread the fumes, and you have to spread the fumes inside the cell culture room and lock the room. Okay, so that the entire room gets fumigated and sanitized. So time to time you are supposed to fumigate the cell culture room. ठीक है? These are some of the very basic guidelines and safe lab practices which is supposed to be followed by everyone. Be it a student, be it a researcher, be it a faculty, anybody who enters a lab is supposed to follow these rules. বুঝতে পেরেছো?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And you cannot deviate from it. You have to follow this. You have to follow this. Why? Because if any sort of contamination creeps in, any sort of contamination, what will happen? You are culturing one cell line and there is another bacteria which is going along with it. And then when you extract those cells, when you do protein, when you extract the protein, when you extract the RNA, when you extract the DNA, as a result, in your results, what will you get? There will be proteins from that bacteria also. There will be RNA from that bacteria, contamination bacteria. Okay, so all your results will be just useless. Okay, it will have no importance at all. It will zero importance. ठीक है? So there should be no contamination, no trace of contamination at any cost. If any contamination is found inside the hood, inside the culture, inside the refrigerator, inside the incubator, if anywhere any sign of contamination is seen, all the things should be thrown away. Everything should be decontaminated. The room is to be fumigated, and then you have to start all over again. All right. ঠিক আছে, বোঝাতে পারলাম?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So for the convenience, for the sake of convenience, there's a checklist which you need if you are working in a cell culture lab. এটা তো আমি দুটো স্লাইডে দিয়েছি, দুটো স্লাইডে এই লিস্টটা দিয়েছি, but you have to take an A4 size paper and have this printed on it and just keep it in front of you before entering into the lab. You just go through all of this checklist and put a tick mark at this right hand side space, whether you are following all these rules or you are not. ঠিক আছে? There are some rules which is to be followed for this work area, your personal hygiene, and then regarding reagents and media, then handling, how you're supposed to handle the things. So there are certain guidelines or some certain rules. All right, is the cell culture hood properly set up? Is the hood area free from any kind of dirt, dust? Okay, and there should be no windows in the cell culture lab. No windows. It should, and all if there is one, it should always be, it should be sealed. It should not be opened, and it should not be facing the road, so that traffic pollution and everything, none of it is supposed to enter the cell culture room. All right, is the work surface uncluttered and other and does it contain only items required for your experiment? Did you all of this I have already told you. Personal hygiene, you have to wash your hands, you have to wear your PPE. If you have long hair, you have to tie it. If you are not supposed to like if you're working on benchtop outside the cell culture room, what many times we do, what we just if we are using those glass pipettes, if you're using glass pipettes, we just inhale. What do? We use our mouths to pipette the things, right? Using a glass. That should never be done. That is not supposed to be done at any time in a cell culture room. We are always supposed to use pipette controller. Okay, pipette controller and those disposable pipettes. Plastic pipettes are there. Glass pipettes are not used because every time you cannot dispose the glass pipettes. Plastic pipettes, you are supposed to use disposable pipettes so that after using you can dispose them off. Usse bacho?
Yeah, ma'am.
Then reagent bottles and media. All of them you have to do what? You have to autoclave. Autoclave bocho shobai? I hope. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So everything with whatever glasswares, plasticwares, those bottles, reagent bottles, flasks, beakers, whatever you are supposed to use, everything needs to be autoclaved. Everything has to be sterile. ঠিক আছে? So, and if any of your reagent looks cloudy, means what? It's some bacterial growth, fungal growth is occurring inside. So you have to do away with that. You have to discard them, and you have to use fresh ones, which you have to ensure that those are free from any type of contamination. ঠিক আছে?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to work, you aren't supposed to hurry. হারিতে কাজ করলে জিনিস পড়বে, ঠিক আছে? পড়বে, তারপরে you'll make mistakes, তারপরে you might blow something inside the hood. You are not supposed to, you take time in your hand. You have to work calmly inside a cell culture room because safety is first. ঠিক আছে? There's a question of your safety as well. Okay, you have to work slowly. You have to be mindful. Okay, I'm thinking something else. I'm doing something else. Then accidents might occur. You have to be very mindful. All right. Are you using sterile glass pipettes or sterile disposable plastic pipettes to manipulate all liquids? Okay, just now I have told you that if you can make lesser use of these glass pipettes and try to use more disposable pipettes. Whether the caps and covers are face down in work area. Are you careful not to touch the pipette tip? Yes, the pipette tip should not be touched because that tip you are dipping it inside the media, you're dipping it inside the cell suspension. All right, so it will carry particles if it is touched at any surface, be it your hand, be it the surface on which you're working, be it anything, be it the media bottle, anything, the tips should not touch anywhere. Okay, so these are some of the things which should be included in your checklist before you enter the cell culture room. All right, have you ever been to any lab anywhere where this
Yes,
cell
ma'am.
culture
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
Yes, ma'am. In CSR, CMERI Durgapur, there was a water management, quality water testing project, a kind of workshop. So we have attended. So
Okay.
regarding all these things and steps were being followed, and like it is a kind of revision kind.
Huh. And have you seen a lab where cell culture is carried out?
No, ma'am. We have seen that there were bacterial culture. They have made us observe different kind of bacteria which have been found in the water, like contaminated water, or during like impurities, kind of impurities which have been caused by bacteria and other metals and other things,
And why
factors.
is
So
only Sambhavi speaking? What about the rest? Have you been anywhere? Have you seen any of the labs where cell culture is carried out? Huh? Anybody? कोनो लैब में जाओ नहीं कोनो दिन? Yes?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, then you should better get acquainted visually. Right? So have a look at this video. You'll have an idea of what a cell culture lab look like, what amenities should be there. Okay, there should be incubators, there should be -20, -80 degree refrigerators, there should be this laminar hood, there should be water baths, dry baths, centrifuges. All right, Eppendorf centrifuges, then there should be this microscopes. ঠিক আছে? Just go through this video and have some idea. Okay, I'm opening it. Here, can you see, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, just
Successful cell
just
culture
look at the
depends on
environment
many
of the lab, huh?
factors, including the quality of the cells and reagents you use, your sterile technique, the amount of experience you have, and the right laboratory equipment. Proper setup is important. Have everything you need close by. The basic equipment you'll find in a cell culture lab includes a cell culture hood, an incubator, a water bath, a centrifuge, a refrigerator freezer, a hemocytometer, and a microscope. You'll also need cell culture flasks, medium and other reagents, pipettes, and waste containers. The hood provides a sterile environment to work with your cells without fear of contamination. Always open your cell culture dishes and reagent bottles in a sterile environment. Outside the cell culture hood, keep a stack of disposable pipettes nearby. Pipettes are placed in the hood during use and only opened inside the sterile field. Have the trash, biohazard bin, and sharps container close by. A cell counting machine, such as the Countess, gives you quick, accurate counts needed during culturing. Or you can count cells manually with a hemocytometer. You may also wish to have the centrifuge located in the cell culture facility. Incubators provide the appropriate environment for cell growth. Carbon dioxide and temperature settings depend on cell type and medium selection. Mammalian cells are cultured at 37 degrees Celsius in the presence of 5 to 7% carbon dioxide with high humidity. Inside the incubator, keep your cell culture flasks evenly spaced and avoid crowding to ensure that the air inside the incubator moves freely. This helps to maintain temperature, humidity, and proper gas exchange. Don't make very tall stacks of plates. They may fall over, and lower ones may not get the appropriate gas exchange. Store all media and reagents according to the instructions on the label. Some components are known to degrade when left at room temperature or exposed to light for extended times. If the medium will be stored in a glass front refrigerator or a cold room, wrap the bottles in tinfoil or store them inside a box. Some labs warm their reagents to 37 degrees Celsius before use. Warming reagents should take 10 to 20 minutes, depending upon the size of bottles you are using. Others choose to use reagents warmed to room temperature or directly from 4 degrees storage. If you use a water bath, make sure to keep bottles upright, with necks out of the water. Specially designed bottle weights are available for use with the Gibco bottle.
Alternatively, metallic bath beads can be used instead of water. Bath beads are a cleaner, greener alternative to the water bath. While waiting for reagents to warm, prepare the materials you'll need to use. When working under the hood, make sure the hood sash is at the proper height. Correct chair height and body position prevent shoulder stress and also helps prevent contamination. Never breathe or talk into the hood. Wipe the hood with 70% ethanol before and after use. Each item in the hood should be sprayed with 70% ethanol and wiped clean. Items within the hood are usually placed as follows: pipette aid in front, reagents in back, tube rack in the rear left, small container to hold liquid waste in the back right, your cell plates in the center. Never leave reagents in the water bath longer than necessary. Excessive warming can lead to L-glutamine degradation and loss of activity in trypsin solutions. Gibco Glutamax and Triple are more stable versions of L-glutamine and trypsin. Remember to clean each item placed in the hood with ethanol. You may choose to spray the item before placing it in the hood or immediately after, as demonstrated. Transport your cells carefully. Don't allow damage to the cell monolayer and avoid medium splashing that can encourage contamination. If using flasks with unvented caps, be sure to tighten before removing from the incubator. View every culture under the microscope daily. Check on cell health and growth and look for contamination. Make sure you're working with the cells you are expecting in your culture. If there's any doubt about cell identity, get a new culture from a reputable source or use a cell authentication kit. A properly made
সো ফলো করতে পেরেছো?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
ইয়েস ম্যাম। আইডিয়া হলো একটা?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
সো ব্রেক নেওয়া যাবে একটা এখন?
হ্যাঁ জারখা, একটা ব্রেক নিয়ে নিচ্ছি, আবার 10 মিনিট পর ওই 10-15 মিনিট 15 রাউন্ড আবার জয়েন করছি স্টুডেন্ট সবাই।
ওকে ওকে ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ সঙ্গীতা ম্যাম।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ জারখা ম্যাম, থ্যাংক ইউ। Welcome back, Jarka ma'am.
Yeah. So shall we continue class?
Yeah. Please continue.
Okay. So till now we studied about the, yes, what did we study till now?
Ma'am, lab practices
Anyone other
kind
than
of.
Sambhavi? Anyone other than Sambhavi, please. What did we study till now?
Ma'am, we just had the recap of everything that we had learned about cell lines and the cultures. And then we also learned about the general procedures and the steps that need to be taken while
Yes.
working in the laboratory.
Yes. And the most important thing, you're supposed to do what before entering the cell culture room? You're supposed to prepare what? Just immediately below this slide, before this slide, what slides have I shown you? I showed you 2 slides. What did that contain?
Do's and don'ts before we're going to
Yes.
lab.
Yes, you have to prepare a checklist before entering the cell culture lab, whether you are following all those or not. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we come to the basics. Basics of cell culture and the guidelines of how to maintain a subculture, when to subculture. All right, all those things will cover up in the upcoming slides. So, regarding the basics, first we need to understand what cell line you need to select. Right? So there are four scholars in a lab. Everybody will use the same cell culture. Right? Everyone will use the same cell culture room. But will everyone's cell line and everybody's whatever cell they're using? সাপোজ একটা ল্যাব আছে, কলেজেই ভাবো একটা ল্যাব আছে আর 4 জন কাজ করছো, তাহলে কি এটা জরুরি যে all the 4 people will have to work on the same cell line? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No. It will depend on you. It will depend on your experiments, upon your interests. Suppose one person is interested in working with cancerous cell line. One person is interested in simulating some experimental thing in some model, some animal model. Okay, and he is maintaining some primary culture from some kidney cells or brain cells. Okay, so that has become a primary culture. Some other person, he or she is carrying out his or her work in some other organ, cell line from some different organ. Okay, so the selection, what cell line you will work on, it depends totally upon you and upon your work, what work you are doing, which line you have selected. Right? So if ever given an opportunity, just I'm asking this, if ever given an opportunity to work in a lab, what will you prefer to work with? Will you prefer to work with a cell, or will you prefer to work with an animal? Will you prefer to work with mice, or will you prefer to work with cells?
Ma'am, cells.
Why is that? Yes, whose voice is this? I cannot recognize.
Ninad.
Ninad.
Yes, ma'am.
What does it mean, Ninad? What does your name mean?
sound of the universe or sound of the water, especially.
Okay. So why will you like to work with cells and not animals?
Ma'am, cells are easier to handle
Easier
and
to handle, you're saying.
easier to handle than a mice. Like we
You
have to.
don't know the pain of doing away with contamination once it creeps inside the lab. You don't know the pain of it, Ninad.
Yes, ma'am, but replicating a cell and that is much more easier than
And there
replicating.
comes ethical issues regarding animal rights and all those things. That's why most of the people
Who
try to
told you there
prefer.
is no? You also have to take ethical clearance for cell culture. Who told you
Yes,
there is no?
ma'am, both the
Huh.
things are like linked with each other. So that's why most of the maximum of the genetical experiments are mainly done over the animals, and some in other times, like in Mendelian genetics, we have observed that he's the only one who has worked over the plants, like pea plants. So that's why. So maximum of the time we have observed that.
And what was Ninad saying? What was Ninad saying?
Ma'am, you see, means the like you can use just a minute, ma'am. What I'm trying to say is that just like cells are well not easier to handle, but in a way they can be easily replicated. They don't take as much time as a mice that needs to grow up to a certain age.
Yeah, you can always buy the mice of that particular age.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, the mice will differ greatly from the mice that you were using before. Hence, that problem is not there. Or if it is there, it's very less.
I didn't get this point of yours. I didn't understand this second point of yours, Ninad. Please repeat, will you?
Variation of the characters. That's what I'm trying to say. Two human
I
from
huh.
lot, but cells taken from my skin time, if they are taken from my skin only, they will differ less from.
Okay, but then are you forgetting that there is a question of in vitro and in vivo? The conditions in vitro are totally different from the conditions in vivo.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yes,
cells which are cultured outside, the conditions are totally different in vitro, right?
yes, ma'am.
And when it comes to publication, what happens then? Which one will be more easily acceptable? Work on animals or work on cells?
Work on animals.
Of course, work on animals. Why? Because because that work is an in vivo work. That whatever changes you are showing, that is occurring inside the organism. I'm not discouraging people from carrying out work on cell lines. I'm not discouraging them. I'm just asking I'm just trying to tell them how challenging it can be. It is more challenging to work with cells than to work with animals. Okay, working with cells, you need to be much more passionate, much more hardworking. It requires a lot more effort than animals. Animals you took animals, you bought animals from some institute. You acclimatized those animals for a week or two inside the animal house, and then you initiated your experiments, whatever it is. You sacrifice the animals, take out the organs, and so on. But with
Yes,
cell
ma'am.
line,
In
there are
case of
certain cell
monoclonal
lines.
antibodies.
Only establishment of those cell lines takes huge amount of time. Just establishing the cell line, if you are trying to establish some cell line in your lab for the first time, only establishment takes huge amount of time properly. It is that challenging. It can be that challenging. All right, but once you are once you get acquainted with the procedures, once you have known you become acquainted with your cells. Okay, once you have learned all the qualities of your cells, then it starts to get easier, but initially it is very, very difficult. Okay, then what are the other sources? Suppose you are buying cells from some vendor, some cell lines you buy from vendors. What are the other sources for obtaining cells and then bringing them inside the lab and then culturing them? Can you tell me any other sources apart from vendors? I'm talking about the cells, okay, not animals. Apart from buying, what can be the other sources for getting cells apart from primary culture also? No primary culture, no vendors. Where else can you get cells from? Suppose a person is very interested in working with different types of tumors and cancers. What is the
Cryopreservation.
easiest source of getting cells? Tumor cells.
Cryopreservation.
Yes.
Cryopreservation, where we store cells like which we could get to work in a particular time when it's
Cryopreservation means your seniors or somebody else has preserved those cells, and from you're taking up cells from there and you are thawing them and you are initiating your work on those cells, right? Apart from that, but that cryopreserved cells might not be of your interest. It might not be of your interest. You want to work on some tumors from throat or mouth or whatever. Then you have to do what? You have to tie up with some hospitals. You have to collaborate your work with some hospital, right? Some doctors. Then you have to take appointments from them, and then you have to wait for the date of surgery. Whenever surgery of cancer patients occur, you have to go there, you have to wait. Whenever they operate and take out the tumor, you have to ask for them, please give me some tumor, some amount, so that I can do my work. For that, huge amount of ethical clearance thing is there. You have to clear all those, and that becomes one important source for obtaining cells, tumor cells, cancer cells, even normal cells. Bujacho?
Yes, ma'am.
So this Thakurpukur hospital, which is there in Kolkata, Thakurpukur, that is the one of the most famous for this cancer institute and hospital, right? So that hospital works with different research institutes. They collaborate. The doctors there, they collaborate and they provide tumors actually to the scholars so that they can carry out. Then there are doctors in this medical colleges and medical at College Street in Kolkata. There should be some hospitals here also which can collaborate or tie up with the KNU or any other labs. I don't know if it is there or not. But that also become what I'm trying to say is, if you collaborate your work with hospitals and nursing homes where this operations and all those surgeries are carried out, then you can get easy access for tumorous cells to carry out your work. Okay. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you work with real tumors, real tumorous cells, if you work with and you want to check for some drug, I'm treating my cells with this drug. I want to see the effect, whether the tumor is receding or not. What is happening to the protein expression of this? What is happening to the RNA, this expression levels of these disease mRNA? Okay, all these things, those will become very important data if this kind of collaboration is possible. Getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
But for that, you have to be very social. You have to be very smart. Okay. So, acquiring cell lines. You may establish your own culture from primary cells. You may choose to buy established cell cultures from commercial or non-profit suppliers. That is cell banks and hospitals. I should have mentioned that also over here. Okay. Next is media. Media, there are three basic classes: basal media, reduced serum media, and serum-free media. Now, serum serum free media and with serum media. What is the difference? Earlier, the composition of the serum was not known, right? So anything which is not known to me, it is better not to use it, because I don't know what effect it would have on my on the cells of my interest, right? So it is better that I use the media, the composition and constituents of which is known to me. ঠিক আছে? All right. Those
Yes,
media, be it powdered media, be it ready-made media, তার কম্পোজিশনটা যদি আমার জানার থাকে, তাহলে I can be more কি বলবো, I'll be less anxious যে কি হবে, because the serum composition fully it is not known that what effect it can have on different types of cell lines. So most of the researchers, they go for the use of serum free media. All right. Then the pH at which the cells should be maintained ranges between 7.2 and 7.4, but some insect cell lines, they grow optimally at 6.2, pH of 6.2. ঠিক আছে? And apart from the serum, what are the other important constituents of which is there inside the media? It is the growth factors, hormones, lipids, all right, and other nutrients. ঠিক আছে? Then there is CO2. Inside the incubator, there should be one concentration, and inside the media, there should be other concentration. So incubator er bhetore je percentage ta ache, that you can adjust with the help of the regulator which is there on the CO2 incubator, right? But what about the media to ekta CO2 concentration er byapar ache. So there different sorts of buffers are used which provides bicarbonate ions to the media, and it maintains the concentration of CO2 inside the media, right? For example, this HIPIS is a buffering agent which is provided to the inside the media, so that this bicarbonate content and the pH is maintained optimally in the media. বুঝতে পেরেছো? Hello? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And temperature, different types of cell lines is to be maintained at different temperatures. Human and mammalian cell lines is to be maintained at 36 and 37. Insects are cultured at 27. Avian or cell lines from birds is to be maintained at 38.5. And those from the amphibians and cold water fish is to be maintained between 15 and 26 degrees Celsius. ঠিক আছে? So these were some of the physical conditions which needs to be maintained. And then there are some other guidelines for preparing aseptic environment. I have already talked about this, about autoclaving, about hood regulations. All these I've already told you about the use of 70% ethanol, about disinfection, fumigation. Okay, so all this we need to carry out in order to prepare an aseptic environment, which is an environment free of any kind of contamination. Next is the preparation of growth medium. Also we have talked about growth medium. There should be some one more thing, antibiotics may or may not be used. Too much use of antibiotics is discouraged. Why? Because then the contaminating bacteria will become used to the antibiotic. All right, will become resistant to the antibiotics. So on and off you can use antibiotics, okay, but continuous use and routine use of antibiotics is discouraged. All right, whatever medium you use, it is different kinds of medium. Two examples we have seen, the DMEM, Delbeco, and those RPMI and F12, all those media. Whatever media you are using, all the regulations, the concentration, everything, how much volume is to be given, and what cell concentration, for this cell density, this amount of media is to be given. Everything is given in the manual, okay, from whom you are buying. All right, so you should follow all those before supplying media to your cells. Then creating correct culturing environment. What do you mean by this? Correct culturing environment. Suppose if I'm working with some adherent type of cells, epithelial cells, then I will need a solid matrix so that my cells can adhere to it. But if I'm working with a this endothelial type of cell or blood cells, then those cells needs to be cultured in suspension media. So I have to provide the proper environment. Then for adherence, I have to prepare flasks. Okay, then flasks with gelatin, fibronectin, these pre-coated flasks are also available. Pre-coated flasks are also available. You can also take blank flasks and do the coating on your own in the lab, but that is too tedious. So most of the labs, they buy pre-coated flasks. ঠিক আছে, ফলো করছো সবাই?
Yes, ma'am.
হ্যাঁ,
Yes, ma'am.
See here is a protocol, how a coating solution is prepared and how it is how flasks are coated with coating solution. Just I'll give you 2 minutes, just go through these points quickly. Yes, done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Ma'am, here, what is seeding?
Seeding means when initially after coating the flask, the initial cell concentration of cell, be it suspension, be it the initial cell density which was applying to the fresh coated flasks. Okay, that is seeding. Normally, what is the concentration of this cells? Do you know? Concentration of cells per ml?
No, ma'am, not exact.
It is 4.5 into 10 to the power 5. 4.5 into 10 to the power 5. All right.
Okay,
So whatever volume you, whatever amount you have per ml, this should be the cell density. ঠিক আছে?
ঠিক আছে, ma'am.
So now you have seeded the cells. Okay, the cells will now start to expand. It will start to divide and redivide. You have provided the media, you have created the culturing environment. Now the cells will grow. ঠিক আছে? But then what will happen if you leave the flasks like that? What will happen if you leave the suspension conicals like that? A time will come when what will happen?
Agglutination would happen, like
Yes.
it was there in the
Loudly?
video. It was there, ma'am. Agglutination would happen in the previous video. It has been mentioned that keeping flask like with the cell culture or cell media, it will result in agglutination.
Yeah, but what will happen to the cells if you go on dividing and redividing, and if you don't, if you just leave it like that, what will happen? Yes, remember the graph and tell me what will happen.
Stationary phase. It will lead to a
Yes,
stationary
exactly.
phase.
Exactly.
Like,
It will touch the surface. It will become confluent. Confluent means what? It will occupy the total media. The media will be exhausted. No nutrient will be there in the media. Because the cells have divided and redivided and redivided, and it has reached confluency, it has exceeded its carrying capacity. It has reached the stationary phase. Once it reaches the stationary phase, it has stopped division. Now, if you take cells from that and if you try to grow it in another Petri plate or in another flask, it will be very difficult. It will not grow again. So what you will have to do? So what will you do? You have to take out cells at what point of time? When it is actually dividing and not when it has stopped division. Okay. So for that, you have to regularly monitor the cells under microscope. What will you see under microscope? What will you see? Whether the cell is dividing or not. How will you identify? How will you identify whether the cells are alive or not? Whether the cell is viable or not? How will you identify the cells? Remember in one of the videos, there was a thing called hemocytometer?
Yes,
And they had pipetted some blue color thing inside.
yes, ma'am. Like the dead cell take up the stains rather than the live cells.
Yeah. Why?
Ma'am, because of some cellular proteins which have been
The dead cells become permeable.
permeable.
They
Yes.
lose the regulation of the cell membrane. The pores are open permanently. So the dye gets inside and stains the cell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But the live cells, they don't allow the dye to get in. They don't take up the stain.
Yes, ma'am.
So the live cells are transparent, round and smooth and plump. But the dead cells appear to be shrunk, darkly stained. ঠিক আছে যদি তুমি মাইক্রোস্কোপের তলায় দেখো যে the cells are dying in larger percentages, dead cells এর পার্সেন্টেজটা বেশি মানে মরে যাচ্ছে সেলগুলো, then there's something wrong with your media. You have to change. You have to make sure that all the things are okay, and then you have to reseed the cells from the fresh source, from the source which you have preserved in the vials and in -80 or which you have cryo preserved earlier, সেখান থেকে তুলে আবার seed করতে হবে with fresh media, right? This is one thing you have to keep in mind. What else you have to look for? Whether the cell density is proper or not. The density which I have told you, তার থেকে কম হতে হবে, ঠিক আছে? হ্যাঁ? Yes.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have to take up cells from the dividing phase. You have to take up cells from the log phase. তাই না? সেখান থেকে কেন নিতে বলছি? Because the cells are in a state of division. সেখান থেকে নিয়ে যদি আমি ফ্রেশ মিডিয়াতে দিই, ওকে? সেখান থেকে নিয়ে যখন ফ্রেশ মিডিয়াতে দেব, this process is called passaging or splitting. Okay? So then the cells will be healthy. But if you leave the cells like that, it will experience contact inhibition, and it will experience they will reach the stationary phase and they will stop division. ঠিক আছে? So always from time to time you have to change the this media, throw away the exhausted media, used up media. You have to change the flasks, you have to split. ঠিক আছে? Now what is the ratio? Suppose you have one flask in which your viable cells are there. From that flask you have to you want to make changes. You want to throw away, discard the media. You want to make fresh these things, fresh cultures you want to make. So what ratios are you going to take? So দেখি আমরা see here, all these I have already told you. If the cells are okay, they'll be round and plump and they will refract light. Okay? And we have to discard the cells if they're detaching in large numbers. They look shriveled, that means they're dying. Okay? They're grainy dark in color. They are in quiescence, it means they do not appear to divide. So at that point of time, you have to change your media. All right? Now, I was talking about this passaging. The passaging is what? Taking away cells from this phase, log phase, and seeding it on a flask or fresh adherent flask or whatever suspension. ठीक है, so that is called passaging. If you want excuse me, if you want continuous supply of cells, you have to keep passaging the cells. But beyond 10th passage, the quality starts to deteriorate. So whatever experiment you're trying to complete, you try to complete before, or the ideal time for carrying out experiments is after 3rd or 4th passage. Okay, try to complete your experiments before the 10th, before 9th and 10th passage. Okay, and always that you always from the initial seeding, you should, whenever you are passaging it, suppose the first passage, you label the flask, this first passage, this is the first passage cell. Okay, then again that flask will get confluent. Before that you have to again passage from there. Then to the fresh flask you are taking the cells from the log phase, right? Again on that flask you put a label, second passage. বুঝতে পারছো, বোঝাতে পারছি কি বলতে চাইছি?
Yes, ma'am.
হ্যাঁ, so always mention the number of passage on the flasks, ঠিক আছে, so that you can keep a track. And also very important,
Yes,
how could I skip it, logbook. A lab culture logbook should be maintained, like when you are feeding it, when you are changing the media, when you are passaging it, when you are splitting it, everything needs to be maintained in a logbook with the date, time, ঠিক আছে? Yes. So
Yes,
before
ma'am.
culturing, subculturing, what are the factors which needs to be considered? Contact inhibition. Contact inhibition, see, this is 20% confluent, 50%, 100% confluence. This state should not be reached. This state should not be reached. And at this stage also, this is a stage of very slow growth. Lag phase or stationary phase থেকে নাবা যাবে না. This is the ideal stage from where you can take the cells. ঠিক আছে? Or you see that there is a drop in pH. Drop in pH মানে buildup of lactic acid due to increased cell. So increased cell might be this due to the cells which you are using, or because of some other cell which has got into the media and it has started growing rapidly. Then that is contamination. Okay, so for either case you have to change the media. If you change the indicator, can anybody name the indicator which is present in the media? Why is the media red in color? What is that red color? Yes, that is an indicator which is used in the media. Yes,
Saffronin.
it is phenol red, right? Phenol red. So whenever the media starts to turn acidic, what is the function of an indicator? It will change its color to warn you that now the pH is changing, right? So whenever the color changes from pinkish orange to lighter orange, that means it is getting acidic. You need to change the media. ঠিক আছে? Now a lot of writing is over here. Please go through this. I'll give you 2 minutes, especially this second paragraph. Second paragraph, just go through it and tell me what you can understand from here. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Hurry up and go through it. Is completed? Hello?
Ma'am, give 5 seconds.
Completed reading?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me what do you mean. What is the meaning of this paragraph? What is being what have I tried to explain over here? Can anyone get the point? Anyone? Ashok? Sanchari? Are you there or not? Please respond.
Ma'am, with the increase of with the increase in day, there is an increase in the confluent percentage, like 1:2, 1:5, and then 1:10. So there is a
No.
schematic increasement.
No. 1:2 split means what? That from one flask you are splitting it into 2 flasks. ঠিক আছে? Suppose the cell suspension or the cells which you have obtained from one flask, you are splitting it into 2. ঠিক আছে? So if you split it into 2, then it would become confluent in and ready for experiment in 2 days. ঠিক আছে? But from one flask, if you split it into 5 flasks, ঠিক আছে, একটা ফ্লাস্ক থেকে যদি 5টা ফ্লাস্ক তৈরি করো, that means you are taking small amounts. Suppose 10 ml ছিল total volume in the first flask, তো 2 ml করে 5টাতে দিলে, ঠিক আছে, তো অ্যামাউন্টটা তো কমে যাচ্ছে, তো এক্সপ্যানশনের জন্য তো বেশি টাইম লাগবে না, then it will need 4 days to
Inversely
get
proportional হয়ে গেছিল, inversely proportional হয়ে গেছে number of days এর সাথে, মানে যত আমরা স্প্লিট করব তো ডেজ আরো বেশি বেড়ে যাবে।
ফ্লাস্ক গুলো বাড়াবে from the original flask, তত কি হবে?
number of days increase করবে, তত বেশি
And
লাগবে time.
one more thing you are understanding from here, that all your experiments you will take when the cells are 70 to 80% confluent. ঠিক আছে? And 1:10 split করলে it will be ready after 4 to 6 days. ঠিক আছে? So you plan your experiments like that. Splitting এর সাথে কখন split করছো তার সাথে you have to match your experimental dates, you have to take the bookings and everything, you have to plan accordingly. ঠিক আছে? বুঝতে পেরেছো এটা? দেখো,
Yes, ma'am.
here see. আচ্ছা, this 2 is for power, okay? This is square. এটা superscript হলো না. 1 into 25 square centimeter flask. If you are dividing it into 3 flasks, you can divide the contents into 3 flasks, or the total content you can take it in 1 flask of 75 square centimeter. ঠিক আছে? And if it is a cell suspension from 100 ml, you can take 25 ml cell suspension from here into 75 ml fresh media in 5 separate new flasks. You are making 5 new flasks from 100 ml flask. ঠিক আছে? 5 কি করে হবে? এটা তো 4 হবে, 4 হবে, তাই না? 25 করে যদি নি, so it should be 4 not 5. ওকে, বা 50 ml করে যদি নি তাহলে দুটো ফ্লাস্ক হবে, আর যদি 25 ml করে নি তাহলে 4টে ফ্লাস্ক হবে। ঠিক আছে? So this is all about splitting and passaging. বোঝাতে পারলাম এটা?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt anybody till here? Splitting and passaging, they are one and the same thing. Basically, more or less, they are the same thing. Okay. These are all the repetitions. Whatever I've told you. Do not let cells become overconfluent, because then they will start to die off and they may not be recoverable. They will stop division. All right. To subculture, first warm the media. Media take to গরম করে নিলে হয়. Okay. and then you have to use it. Make sure the flasks are labeled. Okay, the temperature, the CO2 concentration, everything should be proper. Loosely attached, you have to plate it on this flasks, pre-coated flasks. Okay, and the suspension cells you have to culture in media, liquid media. Taina?
Yes, ma'am.
These are again the same things. See the splitting and the ratios and all. 1:2 split, 1:5 split, and then the ml 100 ml থেকে কটা, তারপরে ওইগুলো 25 সেন্টিমিটার স্কোয়ার ফ্লাস্ক থেকে 5 to 10 ml নিলে 75 একটা ফ্লাস্কে দিতে পারি, বা from this ml I can give it to 40 to 150 ml flasks. All right, so these are all the ratios which you have to keep in mind. ঠিক আছে, খুব বেশি ডাইলিউটও করলে চলবে না, খুব বেশি ডেন্স করলেও চলবে না। All right, so these are the standard split ratios which you can use wait one the other thing is this trypsinization. What is this trypsinization? What is trypsin?
Digestive enzyme.
Digestive enzyme. So what is the use of this enzyme over here? The cells which are growing on adherent media, they need to be removed from adherence. They need to be loosely attached before removal, right? So in order to detach those cells from the media, this trypsin is used, and the process is called trypsinization. ঠিক আছে? So there are other triple TRYPL, triple LE, capital LE, and there are other enzymes also available from different companies. Okay, but trypsin is the most it is used since a long period of time, and people are more comfortable using trypsin than those new enzymes. Okay. Acha, the bleaching thing which I have told you to use inside the discard bottles, where you are throwing off the things, that should contain some bleaching thing, right? Some disinfectant. The most common disinfectant uses 10% sodium hypochlorite. ঠিক আছে?
Yes, ma'am.
So this slide is basically for this trypsinization method. How you have to detach the cells. After detaching the cells, you have to wash it, and then again you have to centrifuge it. You have to wash it with PBS. Okay, and go through it. A lot of writing is there, just go through it. As soon as the cells have detached, the flask may require a few gentle taps. Add some culture media to the flask. Using this cell suspension, pipette required volume of the cells into new flasks at required split ratio. ঠিক আছে? Suppose after trypsinization, you have poured media into it. You have taken 10 ml of media. You want to split it in 1:2 ratio. That means 5 ml করে নেবে। ঠিক আছে? একই জিনিস। Only the extra thing is what? Trypsin. ঠিক আছে?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And then for the required dilution, you need to add extra media. The dilution which you want, like that one, 4.5 into 10 to the power 5 cells. To achieve that dilution, extra whatever media is required to make up the volume, you pour that amount of media inside the flask or the this tube or wherever you are keeping it. ঠিক আছে? Make up the volume. And the subculturing of suspension cell line is similar. Only difference is what? This does not need any detachment. This does not require any trypsinization step. All right. The rest of the thing is similar. Changing media, we have already discussed when to change media. Whenever there is a change in the pH, or whenever the cell is seen not to divide or the excessive cell death is observed, then media needs to be changed or passaged. Passaging is to be done. Passage number, I've already told you how to maintain passage numbers. Yes? So, any questions?
Ma'am, there was a slide where you have mentioned that there was a difference in pH in mammal and insect. So, in insect there was 6.7, I guess, and
Yes,
in
2. Yes.
ma'am, so why is this so? Difference in pH, like
Because enzymes inside the body of this insects, they need a total different environment. We have a different
ma'am,
body
it's
temperature.
ma'am, is it due to the the acidic enzyme, like in
Insect cell lines
human
are from insects, right?
Mhm.
And human cell lines are from humans. So আমাদের বডির যা পিএইচ থাকবে সেই পিএইচটা মেনটেন করতে হবে। ইনসেক্টের বডিতে যে পিএইচ এর এনজাইমস গুলো কাজ করে সেই পিএইচটাই মেনটেন করতে হবে, তাই না?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, অ্যাকচুয়ালি বিটি কটনের এক্সাম্পলটা আসছিল তাই জন্য জিজ্ঞেস করলাম। তো তাই অ্যালকালাইন কি যেন বলে স্টমাকের ছিল, তো তাই জন্য।
Yes, any other question?
Any other question from students? Okay, thank you, Ms. Jamal, for an interactive session. Your session was very much engaging and interesting. I hope students, you all have enjoyed the session in a very highly interactive manner. Again, thank you, Zaka Madam, for such enlightening talk on guidelines for maintaining cultured cell. So one announcement is there. According to the schedule, we will probably meet on 12th November, but it could be moved to 14th November, okay? So the lecture that is scheduled to take place on 12th November may be on 14th November. You will all be notified in the official WhatsApp group if any changes in the timing or the date. So that is for today. Thank you all for your kind cooperation. Thank you.